Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight. Real Talk with Saieed Ali, Monday to Friday, from 7 to 8 p.m. on Synergy Network. So viewers, remember to share our live stream, Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. It's Friday night tonight, 13th of August, 2021. Tonight I want to ask you all tonight, would you allow your 12-year-old child to take the vaccine? I want to hear from you tonight. Around the globe, people have been taking vaccine, and we have been hearing and seeing a lot of different issues popping up. But tonight, I want to ask you, Trinidad and Tobago, would you be given, or would you be taking part in allowing your 12-year-old child to take the vaccine? Consideration is to be given to mask in school for children 2 years and older, as well as the adequate supervision of students if and when schools are reopened. Providing an overviewing of the meeting, Education Minister Dr. Nyan Gasby-Dolly stated that the recommendation for young children to wear masks while at school was a recent announcement by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention in the USA. We're talking about the CDC. 2-year-old child, keep this in mind, a 2-year-old child must wear a mask in school. They must be 2 years and older. Just imagine that. She added that it is the same where students above the age of 8 are masked. To the Minister of Education, would you put on a mask on your 2-year-old child going to school? And don't tell me it is the same as an 8-year-old wearing a mask. A 2-year-old will still be drinking milk from a bottle, whereas an 8-year-old school child will be eating from a spoon. Where did all your common sense come from? And how did you obtain that position with this type of mentality of thinking that a 2-year-old masking is just like an 8-year-old masking? I'm going to tell you something. All the time you wasn't saying anything, you should have continued keeping your mouth shut for the rest of the year. Because when it do open, you're classing a 2-year-old with an 8-year-old. How sad. How sad it is to know you have that type of mentality in thinking. Promising to clarify this with the health minister, she advised that there is no mandatory masking for students from the age of 2, but it is encouraged. So I want to ask the minister tonight, if you have a 2-year-old going to school, would you put on a mask on them? Would you put on a mask on a 2-year-old? Sometimes it's best some all they just keep all your bloody hell mouth shut, you know. Serious. It's better you keep your bloody hell mouth shut than to open it. This could mean preschool children wearing masks in school when physical class resume. Gasby Dolly said, the issue of adequate supervision and ensuring quarantine are remained off limit was raised by tutor. The new academic year for 2021-2022 will begin on the 6th of September. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. This is the imitation vaccine vagrant on the show again. Saeed, there is a famous statement made by the supposedly father of the nation, a deadbeat father of the nation, because he couldn't go to America, right? He said the future of our country lies in the school bags of the children. If we want to put the children first, we have to have all the requisite actions that can develop them to be the future leaders. How can we put on a mask on a 2-year-old? Are we not jeopardizing the safety of that child?
Suffocation to start with.
You understand? So if you want to do that, what are the requisite action the ministry have to have? You have to have the support system in the event something untoward happens with that little child. You have to have immediate action. The same thing I've been saying. You want children to be vaccinated, but do you have the supporting parallel system for them to be adequate, to be looked after? That is not happening. And as the father of the nation say, the future lies in this school bag. This present government, the future doesn't lie in the children bag. And remember, they take out the computers from the children bags. And some children carrying guns in the bags too. That will tell you where we are. So they're only talking. They're not seriously looking at the welfare of the child. And as a parent who have a child who's going to school, yes, I will make sure my child gets the vaccination, but I will be more comfortable if I am seeing the requisite action to support the child if something untoward happens, particularly when I am away from that child and the child is in school. I want to know that everything, all the boxes checked in the event. Okay? I go on, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, that is our discussion tonight. I'm going to tell you something. I couldn't pass this one when I see it. Serious. To the screen, soul. I couldn't pass this one when I see it. And to know that the Minister of Education coming out to encourage this thing now, what a shame. What a shame. Are you all questioning the CDC on a 2-year-old? Is anybody questioning anybody in authority concerning mask wearing for 2-year-old? You want to suffer a 2-year-old? When a police give an individual a ticket, the individual questioning the police. When they go to court, they questioning the magistrate. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, good night to you.
You're live on Real Talk. You're live on Real Talk. Go right ahead.
Yeah, let me just inform you. There's 3 CT scan machines at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, and none of those machines in that hospital is working.
I feel it because I COVID the machine is working.
That is exactly what is going on there. Investigation quickly, and you can ascertain that.
Thank you, my friend. So tonight, viewers, is a Fire Friday tonight. Will you put on a mask on your 2-year-old? The The Minister of Education is encouraging this. She said it is released by CDC, Center for Control Disease and Prevention in the United States. Let me tell you something. This is not the bloody hell United States. United States have laws that govern their country, that if a child die under a mask, the parents could take them to court. In Trinidad here, a rape case taking 20 years. Are you the parents of the 2-year-old? Are you all satisfied that the Minister of Education is pushing this, is encouraging this? It's your 2-year-old child, not the minister one. Not the minister one. So I want to ask the minister tonight if she will put on a mask on a 2-year-old child. And don't tell me you are above no law, you know. Because you're a human being just like me. So viewers, as we fire up the Friday, call a good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Saieed, these two people that said have the Delta variant, what about that flight that they came in with? What about all those passengers on the flight, the crew, and past through immigration, customs? Have they been quarantined? Because they said two people come on a flight. I don't know if it's the same flight.
But we are hearing nothing about that. No trace back, nothing we are hearing.
Well, this thing, is it a strategy by the government to force people that say that they are afraid that it is here? Because see, this thing must be investigated. Government, you cannot believe nothing they are saying. You cannot believe. Now, one of the problems we have the Alcine coming on the air, talking, well, all of us know about measles, mumps, rubella, polio, and all these kind of things. These are vaccines that have been tested over the years, so you have no qualms about it. But when you bring a vaccine that approved only for emergency use, not full approval, how could you push that down people's throat? You can't let 2-year-old child come now because of your bungling. Remember when in Parliament they say both in the lower and upper house that this is not important and this is not urgent? You remember when they keep Carnival in 2020 when the virus was already? You cannot, because of your incompetence, force it on a child. This is nonsense, and I think somebody is going to file an injunction to block this vaccine mandate. Something to be done. This is not a dictator. This is not a PNM country. This is not a Rowley country. This is our country, and he cannot. Besides, did you heard anything at all about this? I think on the 14th tomorrow that state of emergency is supposed to finish. What is it? Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. So this man don't know what he's doing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, just a little reminder. I'm going to just take my temper down a little bit on the Fire Friday night. Just a little reminder. Real Talk Group of Companies is offering to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, a Real Talk investment where you can earn a higher reward, a higher percentage rate on your fixed investment in Real Talk Group of Companies. Now, viewers, our percentage rate are from 3% to 3.5%. Presently, the highest percentage rate is being paid out on any investment in Trinidad and Tobago. Presently, we are beating the banks and all the financial institute in Trinidad and Tobago. So I am encouraging you tonight, like I said on a previous show, you have your money put down since the year 1990 with a rate of 1%. We in 2021, and you're still getting a rate of 1%. Why not move from yesteryear into the present and earn an interest rate between 3% to 3.5% in the present? Are you going to stick with the 1990 rate, or are you going to look for something better? Real Talk Group of Companies is offering to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk investment. It's a fixed investment. It's the highest percentage rate that is being paid out in Trinidad and Tobago presently. So contact our office at 238-6716 or 339-1670 or 267-7325 for more information. Viewers, you can even contact me directly at 339-1670. My office open from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you want to find out more about it, contact me. We are located in Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas, and we're right next to the Bagan's Drug. So I'll give Bagan's Drug a little big up tonight. You know, we're right next to them. So give us a call. So as we move along tonight, call a good night.
Good evening, Mr. Said.
My friend.
Said, you know, in our society, we have a lot of child mother and child father. That children that be born and they don't know how they grow up. Now, I don't know if this education minister, I think she had children, raised her children, and at the age of 2, understand a 2-year-old child. That you cannot even put a pampers on a 2-year-old child and they just keep it on. You cannot even put a little hat on a child head if they need sun and they would keep it on. You understand how difficult it is for just to keep on basic normal clothing on children at that age? I want to know if they will be duct taping the mask on the child's face so that they could keep it on. Now, be sensible in this thing and find out ways now how we could get around this while we get a handle on the COVID situation and the pandemic. I see in that now this 2-year-old you're talking about preschool. That is not kindergarten, that's preschool.
Preschool, yeah.
Parents who will be dropping off their child when they go to work for somebody to take care of it, which is still might need bottle fed and all these kind of things. So the only way I feel they could get around this thing is by people keeping their children home until they reach about 5-year-old. Then they could attend kindergarten school, and then you move on from there. Hopefully by then they could resolve this situation and get control over the pandemic and become herd immune in the country, and then the level of the variant might be less and people might be able to go around as normal. But again, now on the other side of the aspect of the vaccination for the children them now, I hope people looking at what is taking place and not only being blindsided on one side and balling there and taking over vaccine, this is poison the children and this and that, and seeing what is really taking place. Now, on both sides there are concerns with the vaccine and with the thing. People have to make the choice which is best, get the best information and do what is right for them and their child. You have to put yourself and your family first priority.
Yes.
Concern about the safety of you and your children, and you weigh the differences and then make a decision to suit. Now this, we stressing on 12-year-old, but the vaccine is recommended from 12-year-old and up.
Yes.
So 12-year-old to 18-year-old is who eligible for the vaccine. And I know a lot of people in the States who have taken the vaccine from 12-year-old to 16, 15 and all kind of thing. Lots of people. That is where I am getting my information for and making my decision that I am going to vaccinate my child with the vaccine. So I have done my research. I have talked. We get information, credible, reliable sources, and I am making the decision to have my daughter vaccinated. That's my personal choice. Who want to deal differently, I have no problem with them. Who want to condemn and whoever, but people need to get reliable information from reliable source, do their research and make the decision on whichever way they want to go. And who decide not to, you have the chance of dealing with the COVID if the child gets infected. Who decide it have the chance of the vaccine might pose some kind of side effects and things. Like I say, it's your parents and you have to make that decision on your own, whichever you decide, which way ever you decide to go.
Thank you, my friend.
Take care.
So viewers, as we move along tonight, shortly after receiving a donation of over 300,000 Pfizer vaccine from the US yesterday, Health Minister Terence Zialsing stated that vaccination of students can begin from early as next week. Zialsing once said, the vaccine are prepared for use. They must be utilized within 30 days. He added that he was scheduled to meet with the Ministry of Education officials yesterday to discuss how soon they can begin administering the vaccine to students 12 years and over. Zialsing further stated that the ministry, if all goes well, we want to start administering the vaccine next.
Will be used almost exclusively for our 12 to 18 cohort, that is secondary school, and some in first year university, because it is the only one that we have for that age cohort. And what you have noticed worldwide with the Delta variant, it tends to attack children a lot more. I've been having ongoing conversations with my colleague, Minister Nyan Gatsby-Dolly. Today there's a technical meeting between health and education. If all goes well, we want to start administering these vaccines next week, early next week, once the Ministry of Education gives us the go-ahead.
So viewers, previously in Wednesday media conference, the Singh stated that to prevent lawsuit, the government will only give vaccine to 18 years and over.
We must only vaccinate persons 18 and over to prevent lawsuits, because the vaccines are approved for persons 18. Policy has to reflect that. If you vaccinate someone 17 years and 364 days, and that person unfortunately has a massive adverse event or dies, maybe not even from the vaccine, but even attributable to some way, you open up the country and the taxpayer to a lot of legal ramifications. So it's biological, it's policy, but it's also legal.
So you hear that, viewers? 18 years and over will be vaccinated. They bring down the Pfizer. The Pfizer was sent to us for 12 years and over. So if you're under 18 and you're over 12, Pfizer is for you. This is what I gathered. This is what I gathered. So I want to hear from you. Would you allow your 2-year-old child to wear a face mask in a preschool? How safe is it? How safe it is? Excuse. How safe is that? You know, sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder if everything the WHO sent to us, if we would take it. Do we question anything? Because I could tell you something in the US. In the US, people questioning everything, you know. Every single thing, you know. Down here, we just taking it and swallowing it. Swallowing it. I tell you, I was shocked today when I hear that. And the minister is encouraging it. You are encouraging 2-year-olds to be suffocated. That is what you're doing. That is what you're doing. And I will tell you something, that is ridiculous. Promising to clarify this with the health minister, she advised there is no mandatory masking of students from the age of 2, but it is encouraged. How many of you will put on a mask on your 2-year-old child? How many? Are you going to listen to the minister and put on a mask on your 2-year-old child? When the child starts suffocating, who are you going to call? Miss Gatsby-Dolly, you know the child suffocating? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? You think they have time to answer you? 50,000 students still need device. They may get it yet, but I'm telling you now to put on they're encouraging a mask on a 2-year-old. How dumb that could be. Let me tell you something. If you care about a 2-year-old child, monitor them properly. Monitor them properly. It's sad to know. It's sad to know. This is the way. This is the road they're going down. Encouraging a 2-year-old child to wear a mask. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's stinking sad. This is the kind of foolishness I will stand against. So you expecting me now, Saeed, who have a 2-year-old, to put on a mask to go into preschool? Well, we have how many teachers? For how many children? 2-year-old toddlers. If the government say jump, all they jump in. All they asking how high, all they just jump in. All they just jump in. That's why God created people like me, to stand against foolishness and to put clumsy people in their place. Like I said on a previous show, if you want to be a clown, I will make fun of you. But if you want to be serious, and if you want to demonstrate to the population seriousness, I will stand with you and I will endorse what you're saying. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
So the Pfizer vaccine that is here, it is for children or students 12 and over.
So they say.
They specify it is for students, school children, correct?
Yes.
I think we should have vaccines for all children to 18. All, whether in school or not, all the best.
Thank you, my friend. Well said, well said. Well said. I tell you, we sad here, you know. We real sad, you know. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
I am here this morning about this children taking the vaccine. And I was really emotional. But I have grandchildren under the age of 18. And I was so shocked. But for this 2-year-old to put on a mask to go to school, oh God, I am an old person. And when I put it on to go down the road, I just feel like I stifle, I want to breathe, I want air to breathe. Right? And how is to put a 2-year-old child? Huh? A 2-year-old child? That is unfair. That is unfair. And I don't believe in the vaccine.
Thank you, my dear.
Right? I don't like it. It's not right. It's not right. Okay?
Thank you so much. So viewers, I want to hear your discussion tonight. We're keeping a discussion. The Minister of Education is encouraging you to put on a mask on your 2-year-old child. She is encouraging that. Would you put on a mask on your 2-year-old child? I want to hear all you tonight. This is coming from the Ministry of Education, and it is encouraged by the Minister, Nyan Gasby Dolly. Let me just read this again. Promising to clarify this with the Health Ministry, she advised there is no mandatory masking for students for or from the age of 2, but it is encouraged. If you want to be a clown, I will make fun of you. But if you're serious in what you're doing, I will support you. But don't tell me, Saeed, you have to put on a mask on your 2-year-old child. Let me tell you something. I will light my light and you will get up in the morning and you will just resign just so. Just so you will resign. Don't make a clown of yourself. Caller, good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
They mentioned 2-year-old.
2-year-old. That is what the article said.
They're supposed to bracket the 2-year-old because it has children that with Down syndrome. It has special children. You understand? Even as we elderly, that mask does give you problems. You understand? So if you're saying 2-year-old, bracket the children then because they go to different schools. Different schools, different children. Good night.
Thank you, my friend. You see, you know what get me? You see, when he had a say, she said there is no mask, no mandatory masking, but for 2-year-old. But it is encouraged. You see that word they use, encourage 2-year-old, let me tell you something. You're big and you have sense, but you're big and you have no common sense. No common sense whatsoever. You go tell me, hey, watch me. We are talking about health minister here, you know. We ain't talking about we ain't talking about the man who's a rapper jersey around your face, you know. We ain't talking about here, you know. We talking about the education minister. There's a big difference. Education is passes and degrees and common sense. While we're talking about health, the man don't even know what to tell Trinidadians and Tobagonians. He don't even know what to say. Because a big statement in a media release, the average citizens they don't know how to put on a mask. Call a good night. I want to hear from all you tonight. 2-year-old being encouraged to wear mask.
Yeah, hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Right. We hear about the coronavirus, we hear all the destruction and how dangerous it is.
We hear about everything.
Right. People have been wearing masks, distancing, washing their hands and so on since that information came out.
Since last year to now.
Right. They continue to do that after the vaccinated or not vaccinated. Now, what is the results of having the vaccine? What is the track record of the vaccine itself? Because if all these things is being maintained, what is the record? You know the destruction, but what is the record of the vaccine standing up? What is the record?
I asked for that on a previous show. On a Thursday night show, I asked for that data. I am waiting to see when they will bring it out to the public. You see, you're encouraging 2-year-olds to wear masks, and you want to encourage the parents now boy, you had to be a mad individual. You had to now come out from Ward 1. How the hell you going to put on a mask on a 2-year-old child? And how much teachers in a preschool now to supervise those children will mask on? A big, strong, strapped individual will have problems if it have Sahara dust in the air, much less for a 2-year-old child who is asthmatic. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, Saeed, I feel for the age of 1-year-old to a 10 years old, right? Them children can't conduct themselves in school.
Exactly.
This virus case is over 300 and something a day, 200 and something a day, right? And how could you send your child to a school we're going to open without a vaccine and they can't conduct their own self? Do you know where they're holding? How they go in a washroom? You don't know about that. You understand? So that child will get the virus. And when you lost your child, will you get a child like original again?
Thank you, my friend. So here is next big question. Today is the 13th of August, Friday the 13th of August. School will be reopening on the 6th of September. That is when the academic year is starting. They want to push for school to open to the 6th of September. Is there any arrangement to sanitize schools thus far? Is there any arrangement to sanitize schools thus far? 92,000 children will be entering secondary, 92,000 students in secondary school. How many schools have been sanitized thus far? How many repairs have been done to school thus far? Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
I think it's madness. I think it's madness to vaccinate children at 2 years old.
Mask wearing, you mean?
Yeah, they give back, the mask at 2 years old.
Thank you, my friend.
2 years and 3 years, can't handle that. And also, I still want to find out about the Pfizer, if they're giving the security at the schools. So we are the first people that meet the students at the school. Are we getting Pfizer too? That's the question.
Thank you, my friend. I wonder if I go get Pfizer, boy. I wonder if I put in a request for Pfizer, if I will get it. The education and health go hand in hand. The education ain't come up with nothing sound other than encourage 2-year-olds to wear masks. And the health ministry on the other side, they may even start to sanitize school as yet. What about the repairs done the school to open it back? On the 6th of September, we have about 2 weeks again. About 2 weeks again. No repair, no sanitization, but you're looking to send secondary school students into school. Who could be a more clown than these two portfolios? If you want to be a clown, I will make fun of you. If you want to be a clown, I will make fun of you. I'm telling you that on national television. You cannot be a big hardback individual and encouraging mask wearing on 2-year-old child. I don't care what CDC says. Because if something happened to my child, CDC ain't put in 25 cents. Not Canadian, not US, not TT. If you want to be a clown, I will make fun of you on national television. Caller, good night.
Yes, Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, this whole 2-year-old wearing mask thing, right? Let me ask you a question. Which is statistics that children getting COVID? You get that?
So far they say it's only adults will get COVID-19. That is what they say so far.
Here where I say, right? Number one, you want children to wear a mask from 2-year-old go up, right? You hurry to open schools, to send the children out to the schools. Are any of the schools ready for children to go into them?
Talk to me, I'm listening to you, talk to me.
So when it is the children going to school and rains are fall and all these, the roof and all that thing leaking, it's a pigeon, it's a rat, it's a bat, it's all kind of thing, what are they going to do? Send them back home? You see they do any work in any schools?
None.
Exactly my point. Right? And this whole thing about this vaccine given teenagers and things. People understand that children getting heart inflammation with this Pfizer vaccine. They understand these things?
Right.
No, but they hurry to go and give the children vaccine and all kind of thing, and people call there and saying, let me tell you something, Saeed. You see my children ain't taking no vaccine? I ain't taking no vaccine. Who want to say what they want? I do my research side. And if people don't want to understand what is happening to all you're free to do is all you're free. Then let's say everybody have a choice. Right. So be it.
Thank you, my friend.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, my friend. Let me pause on the education minister. We go into health. You want to open back school. You want to open back school. How many schools are prepared to open come the 6th of September? Fully operational. How many secondary schools? How many? Did they visit the school? Did they point out which school is opening? COVID-19 is in the air. It is in the air. We could breathe it in. But have you been to the school? Is any cleaning up campaign in the school? Is sanitization being done in school? Is security put in place? Is repairs being done to school? Come now, man. All cannot be an idiot so at the same time. And when Saeed talks, Saeed bashing. Saeed, you're bashing PNM. No, I'm not bashing PNM. I'm trying to put something in place so when your child go to secondary school, they will be safe. If you don't have a mouth to talk, I have one. If you don't have a voice, I have one. And my mouth big. So I could talk for me and about 20 of them at the same time. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saieed Ali. This Delta variant, what they say in Trinidad and Tobago, I feel they're lying to the public. They're lying to the public right wrong with this virus. Because, oh God, they're doing everything, they're doing all the protocols. And they still want to give them masks here. These young children, come on, that's unsafe for the children.
Thank you, my dear.
The children cannot use, the children cannot help themselves.
Thank you so much. I'm telling all you, all I feel when I come here, all I feel like is come to make friends with ministers. I don't come to make friends with ministers. I come to question what you're doing as a leader. Because I ain't blind. Hey, watch me. I have 2 eye that God gave me. And he gave me extra 2. So it's 4 eye I have. You know, so that they say when you're wearing glasses, it's 4 eye you have. Well, it's 4 I have. So I've seen plenty better. I want a little understand this. I want a little understand. Gatsby Dolly said she will clarify it with the Ministry of Health, but she encouraging you to put a mask on a 2-year-old. Oh God, for God and heaven's sake, being a Minister of Education, you don't supposed to understand mask wear for 2-year-old. What the hell is CDC talking about? But you want to go under the CDC. And you encouraging me as a parent to put on a mask on a 2-year-old. Let me tell you something. If I follow you and something happened to my child, you ain't coming to visit me. How many homes have you all been to thus far to find out if they have a device in the house? Anybody see the ministry officials by your house? Anybody see MPs and councillors by your house finding out before they have a device to report it back to the ministry? Oh, come now, man. Get real now, man. It's either all I get real now or all I get brainwashed, you know. It's one out of the 2 all I going for. Call a good night.
So, Saieed Ali.
Go right ahead.
Yes. A 2-year-old cannot wear a mask.
Thank you very much.
Someone have 50 years and they have to take off that mask 3-4 times per day before they can put it on.
Thank you, my friend.
Nobody.
Short and sweet, short and sweet. It's madness. It's madness. Because I'm listening, and I ain't hear nobody talking about no radio station, no TV station, no news, no nothing. So I decide to make a grand opening with it. Are you okay with putting on a mask on your 2-year-old? How big a 2-year-old? About somewhere by money? About that 2-year-old will be about this height? About this height? About knee height? But you want to put on a mask? The baby can't walk good. The baby cannot walk good. You want to put on a mask? Who more illiterate? Call a good night.
Good night.
You live on Real Talk?
No, I will not put on a mask on my 2-year-old.
Thank you, my dear.
What we have to take in consideration, right? We just call a 2-year-old terrible too, because at the time they're now learning. These 4 children now learning something.
They're ransacking the house.
Did they take consideration? Did they take consideration in about autistic children and children with other illness?
Thank you, my dear. I understand what you're saying. But let me tell you something. They have 2 ministry, health and education, and both of them like they want to be clowns. Take what I'm telling you. The both of them want to be clowns. One encouraging mask for 2-year-old, the next one encouraging secondary students to come and get vaccinated. And where you going? School opening on the 6th. 6th of September. How many schools have been prepared thus far? How long school closed? Because this is last year. Is there any? So you all intend to clean up now about 2,000 schools in 2 weeks? What about the repair on the school? What about sanitization on the school? Let me tell you something. 1.3 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. And if all you feel side is one big clown, you make a mistake. You make a mistake. Because I wasn't the one who come out in a media briefing and said, take a jersey and rip it, a piece of old cloth, and burn your face with it. It wasn't me who said that. And it wasn't me who said put on mask on a 2-year-old child. And enforcing it. And encouraging it. And all of this want to say I bashing? All you want to say I bashing PNM? Look what they're making do your 2-year-old child. That is what they're encouraging you to do on your 2-year-old child. The next one now, the next one on health now, encouraging them to go to school. Get your vaccine, and when we open September the 6th, all you go to school. If piece of the ceiling fall on the child, who expense it is? Who expense it is? The minister? The minister? All you will wait right there. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, firstly, I don't think nobody in their right mind going to tolerate that child wearing mask at age 2.
Well, now you know the kind of education minister we have.
Wait, the second thing is, instead of you ratting over and over, try and call the Minister of Education and the Minister of Health and
they don't take my call. They don't take my call.
Because every night they'll be on different TV station, and I thought you said you have the #1 program.
Let me tell you something. Tell you something. They will go on stations that afraid to answer them. Why you think Clarence Chambarat said all sides what is the truth? And when I call him, all he does talk on the show is what we ask him.
Well, Clarence is a minister. He should beg his colleague to come and talk to you, because if he say he talking the truth and them ain't talking the truth, well then somebody ain't talking the truth. So try that, right?
Let me tell you something. You know how many times we try to call the education minister to find out about education? You know how many times I tried to get on to Terrence the Alsing? You know how many times? You know how many times? But you see, when you hear somebody asking them a direct question, they cannot answer. They cannot answer. They will run and hide. They will duck. That is why they have remote media, where you could press a button. You could press a button. I just always say, I am not a remote media, you know. I funded my show. You can't tell me what to ask. You cannot tell me what to say. That is why I don't ask for ads. Because from the time you go to ask for ads, they will control your show. And you can't do that with me. You can't do that with me. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Sorry, yeah, me here. One thing about this 2-year-old. There are over 1,000 plus daycare centers all over scattered in Trinidad. Who is going to monitor the 2-year-old? I want to know. The daycare center people? How are they going to monitor a 2-year-old child? This is madness going on.
That's the Minister of Education we have.
Man, instead of hampers, picking up some hampers full of big stone for them. Full of big stone.
Thank you, my friend. We're not condolencing. We're not going against the violence thing. We're not doing that. But let me tell you something. To even think about it, to say, well, it is encouraged, is a bad statement. No part of that is thinking about. I wonder if them just born, I wonder if them just drop from the sky big as they is. Sometimes I just had to ask. I wonder if they just fall from the sky onto the earth, into Trinidad, where it is, and they start being a minister. You have to go to the health minister to find out. You don't start bad. You start, it have some things in Trinidad. When you hear about it, let me tell you something. Don't even entertain it, because it's rubbish. It is rubbish. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, you couldn't say it better about the 2 crown tonight. You understand? Because just imagine a child 2-year-old.
Boy, you think it easy?
You don't think they would have problem breathing too as well? Because big people have problem breathing with the mask. You understand? For a long period of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. I have 2 sons, 10 and 13, and they just have problems with the mask. They having problems, much less for a 2-year-old. Come on, minister. It better you did stay quiet. It better you did stay quiet. Ay, boy. I want to let her think about it. I want you all to think about it as citizens, as mothers, as fathers, as grandmothers, as grandfathers, as brothers. All think about it. Call her good night.
Yeah, hey, Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Hey, yeah, this is Speedy White. This thing ain't real ridiculous. Now, here what happening. You're breathing in clean air, right? And you breathe out back carbon dioxide poison. So you cannot mix it too. A human being needs fresh air for his brain, for his lungs, and for the blood cells to transport oxygen.
Correct.
Good. So the mask is ridiculous. Just come in, Sam. I had a little quote here I just want to say. That's okay?
You go ahead.
Yeah. Good.
As long as it didn't break it, no codes.
No. The only code I break in here is not speaking the truth. You're supposed to not speak the truth. Okay, I just quoted a few doctors here. Dr. Roger Hodgkinson, he stated, this is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on an unsuspecting public. Dr. Vernon Coleman, this vaccine will kill you. Do not trust governments. Senior research scientist, Dr. Stephen Seneff. It's an insanity, reckless thing that they have done. These are big time doctors are calling here, not 2x4 bushram doctors. Dr. Suharit Bhakdi. You know, look, I'm trying to get on these radio stations and look, I got sick of what people say. And I'm going to be very regular. Dr. Suharit Bhakdi, you're not supposed to know me, you know, I speed here. Parents are willingly allowing their children to be killed if they allow them to have the COVID vaccine. And nearly done here. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, she is one from Texas. Deadly weapons to mandate this to everyone. Blood is on the hands of governments. In 5 months of the vaccine, this is CDC information, right, from Sherry Tenpenny. In 5 months of the vaccine, 4,000 deaths, 193 adverse effects, 11,000 women bleeding, 30 to 35 men with testicular swelling. Right? FDA database monitored by the CDC. Dr. Byram Bridle. Excuse. We made a big mistake. We didn't realize until now. The story is scary. Cutting edge science. The spike protein is supposed to be an antigen. The vaccine is a pathogenic protein toxin. It goes to the spleen, bone, marrow, and adrenaline glands, high concentrate in ovaries, clotting, clumping, heart problems, brain damage. Dr. Michael Yedon, former VP of Pfizer. Hear what this guy is saying, eh? I was one of them. It will kill you. He was one of them. He resigned from the firm. I have a moral duty to speak out for my children and grandchildren. Virologist, Dr. Judy Nicovitz. Dr. Fauci is the devil. Virologist and Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Luz Montagani. There is no chance of survival for people who have received any form of the vaccine. And this last guy that was on Stephen Ree's program, Dr. Ryan Cole, he said, this is tyranny with a needle. This is not a rubbish truck, man. All due respect to rubbish truck people, because if you take up the doctor and them garbage, them go a second there too. These are expert people, and this is stupid, and it's a new world order coming Monday. This is a new world order by Klaus Schwab, and they clearly say they're going to depopulate the place and kill people. Bill Gates said, Dr. Rowley saying he wants to know what Bill Gates on them. And the governments are paid. I am telling you that. Look, one guy recently, I have his article somewhere there. He said, yeah, $1 billion, Saeed, man. Well, stupid is going to blast the place.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, I just want you to understand. I just want you to understand that I couldn't let this pass without touching on it. For highly educated individuals who is thinking about encouraging 2-year-olds to wear masks, let me tell you something. I wonder if you all just fall from the sky and fall into Trinidad just so. I wonder if you all have children I wonder if you take time to sit down and look at your children. I wonder if you does do that. Have you ever monitored a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old? Have you? How about 3 minutes? So viewers, as we close off our Friday night show, and as we close off for the entire week, until God's Spare Life Monday coming, I just want to encourage you. You're working so hard and you're putting your money in a financial institute and it is just dormant. It is not growing. If you want growth for your hard-earned cash, contact me 3391670, 2386716 and make a Real Talk investment. You think about it and go in any institute and find out if they're paying 3% or 3.5%. So until we meet again, viewers, enjoy the weekend. Remember, sanitize, wear your mask. The regulation in Trinidad and Tobago that we have to follow. So let's do what we have to do by the guidelines, by the book. Until we meet again, good night.